All together now, tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo.
Hello and welcome to World Tanks with me, Jet the Ripper, and another premium tank review because Wargaming keep loaning me things. I can't thank them enough because I don't have to spend my money. It's great. Fortunately, I'm a cynical barstool, so it's not really affected how unbiased my videos are. That's kind of nice. So let's get on to the Sentinel. I nearly said Sentinel, and I imagine I'm going to say that a number of times. I'll hopefully try and keep this garage talk a bit quicker because there really isn't as much to go over because it's not like another tank, so I don't have to do the same sort of comparison. It's got the same sort of 17-pounder gun that you get on the Boilermaker with a slightly worse rate of fire. Apart from that, the stats are its own, so let's just leave them at that. The accuracy, 0.39, that's not great, but you get 150 alpha, you get 12 rounds a minute, and you get 171 pen. Down at this tier, that is a really nice setup. The 2.1 second aiming time is quite nice as well. I had a little experiment. If you go and look at my equipment, I've played a couple games, literally just the two actually, and the first game I played with vents to try and get the accuracy a little bit better, that rate of fire, really just squeeze what you can out of it. But I just found you gain that little bit more by having enhanced gun laying drive. The improvement on aim time is just that little bit nicer, and so that's really quite nice to have, and that's what I chose to go with. You don't have to do that. I'd recommend if you do get this tank, have a few games. I think this is going to be another collector's item gem, but gem is the key word here, because I quite like this tank. I like a lot of the British tanks, though, and I am British, so maybe there's my bias. But also I hate this, I don't like the Centurion Action X, so maybe not. Sorry, as you can tell here, I'm still quite croaky because apparently I don't have an immune system. Yeah, so, wow, 8,600, that was genuinely from 2 games. This gun works really, really well. The APCR, should you have to fall back on it, is really good, but you don't need it that often. I had a game which will be going up on someone else's channel because I thought a live com style was better. If no one else wants it, I guess I'll put it up. I'll see how that happens. But my first game in this, I was top tier, did okay. Second game, I did over 3,000 damage, while bottom tier, a lot of my damage being done to tier 8s. And that is all down to the gun depression and the surprisingly good camouflage on this. So one of the quick comparisons I will do, if we take the Cromwell, which is considered a relatively stealthy tank, go to its final... oh no, you can't do it by this, my bad. So you go to the Y here. Then we go into the modules, and if you look at the side, 46 concealment of 0.25 stationary and 0.19 on the move. Now if we go back to the Sentinel, I'm going to pronounce that incredibly carefully each time, we get 51 with a 0.27 and 0.21 moving. So that means this tank is that little bit more stealthy. And that's a real nice little touch. It does allow for a little bit more sort of aggressive play in a weird way, because it means you can get that little bit closer to spot them. The 360 meter view range does mean, because you're going to get in tier 8 games, you need to extend the view range on this tank, and obviously you don't usually want to be sitting long enough to be having your binocs kick in, so it is going to have to be coated optics all the way with this tank. I think that's just a must. The armor really isn't anything special, it's quite troll. If you look in the armor viewer, you'll see some of it is 50 to 70 mil, which I think it's actually the higher end of that scale. But it's not in a lot of places, and there's a lot of things that will just go straight through that anyway. Some of it is a bit troll, you know, if you're looking up, because this is saying, as I say, has 10 degrees of gun depression. If you're looking up at some of this, yeah, there's a lot of parts where you'll just bounce if you just clip the top of it. So if you peek, get your shot off, and then pull back, there's a good chance they're going to bounce off that side. The sides of the turret, or the like little lip out bit of the turret, they can all bounce off these sort of sections, but it's not a guarantee. So you got to really do what you can with that. You see the supplies I've gone with is 10 APCR, because I think that's about all you really need with this tank. I've seen people running 15, but it's a personal choice. I really don't think you need it. And then my standard build sort of on premium tanks tends to be a large first aid kit because of the protection to critical damage against the crews, so that means I'm actually less likely to have to use a repair kit in the first place. And automatic fire extinguisher, because again, that, and then just a small repair kit, because it's not that often that you're going to get that many modules taken out at once that it deems it worth it. If you're doing a grind tank, then definitely I always run all 3 premium. On premium tanks, I tend not to unless it's a particularly good money maker, and even then, I'll try not to because, well, if it's a money maker, why spend all your money on consumables? I'm not here to stat pad with this thing. Now, the other thing to bear in mind with this versus the Rudy does not, I don't think, come with a permanent camouflage. I can actually go check. If I go activate Soviet. Oh, I deselected it, it would seem. Rudy, customize, camouflage, nope. So the Rudy does not come with a camouflage. The Sentinel, geez, nearly did it and then corrected myself. Nearly did it right, but anyway, does come with a permanent camouflage. So that is a, what's that going to work out to be? You know, is it tooth? Let's go quickly have another look. I like how I said I'm not going to do this thing, and I immediately go to a tank that has permanent camouflage as well. So it's 200 gold to 4 different things. That's 800 gold's worth of camouflage. Yes, I'm aware it's a virtual currency, but all in all, Wargaming are choosing not, I say choosing, not to charge you for that, which, well, they might actually be. I'd have to double check the package prices, but the point is it's something to bear in mind on the cost. This doesn't have a crew gimmick, so whether or not that is an issue for you, I have no idea, but a lot of people want them to grind crews or just to collect. I think this is going to be quite a nice collector's tank, but generally quite a nice tank to play. So again, going to be doing completely live commentary. So these are going to be the games as they are. I'm aiming to have only the 2 games, but I'll see how that goes. And let's get on with that. And here we are in a very light, admittedly, but tier 8 game on Severogorsk. Let's see how I can try and use this. I think I'm gonna be in a difficult position here. One of the things you'll find with this tank that I didn't discuss in the garage is it's got a combination of both half decent and half bad mobility. So if you watch, I've got alright quick start, but you know, at this point 20 kilometers an hour you start getting a bit sluggish. Now I've got a hill here, and you watch as I start to go down the hill, I'll start to pick up a little bit of speed, and I'm really getting going now. You know, and I'm topping out here at 50 kilometers an hour. But you can see the Cromwell, the Lycan, the Hellcat, you know, what you'd call real manoeuvrable tanks are easily pulling away from me. Now, one of the things I'm going to have to bear in mind here is there is not really much... Oh, the Freedom is coming with us, right, so that's good. The Freedom's coming this way. Now, the reason why I think I am pointing that out is as much as I aggressively pushed up here, there is no guarantee that I am going to continue with this push. Now you see I've not gone as wide as these guys. Now yes, that means I'm more open to fire. It also means I'm going to get there that little bit quicker. Considering I'm slower, they're faster, they have the ability to go the long way around. I am not, I'm not that fast, therefore I do not have that opportunity. I'm probably not going to have to go as far around the back as these guys, because I do have some relatively nice gun depression. Depending on where their team are, depends on whether or not I'm going to need to do it. There's the IS. The IS I know I can pen. WZ over there. You see this camouflage? That's a light tank. Sat at, was that 140, 150 meters? And I was able to spot and shoot him without him seeing me. Well, he saw me once I shot him, but I was able to sit in a bush and shoot him without him seeing I was there. Now, one of the things he says, you'll know, because the bush isn't see-through, so what I was doing is I get roughly where that corner is, and then I can back up, and that gives me a nice little line of fire. But that guy doesn't appear to be poking right now, so I'm keeping an eye on him. That's bounce off the IS. Now this thing with this tank, I need to decide whether or not I think that guy's going to be continuing to aim at me. Looks like he's aiming this way, so I'm going to pull back a little bit, slightly change where I am, enough that it's going to disturb his thing, but I don't want to go too far up. Now, admittedly, I couldn't see him, but this thing with the camo on this, not camo, but the way tanks are going in, so he is looking this way, but he isn't firing his shots particularly quickly. Oh. Now, I'm going to use this guy's... Nicely done there, Lycan. I like your commitment to the cause. Now I'm going to keep changing direction a bit, and I'm going to aim ahead. He started to slow down, tried to use my own tactic against me, but I didn't let that work for him. Some real commitment there by the Lycan, so... Nicely done there, mate. That IS is moved a little bit further forward now, and that's really started to leave him out. Now he's starting to turn to try and pull back. Gonna go for that track shot. I don't think I got it, but I'm still going to get damage in. He's not pointing his gun completely this way. Oh, I did get the track shot, and he's dead anyway via my track assist. WZ is trying to make a run for it. Don't manage to get the second shot off, but someone managed to get a shot in over there. The Freedom's in trouble. Let's see if I can get some shots in. And waiting for the clearer shot. Got it. Pulling back just to make sure. Stop before I need to. Ooh, low roll by 1. Let's see. I was about to say how much health I left him on when the Freedom fires, but the Freedom didn't get the shot off. Now I'm going to go heading up to the left here. The Lycan's likely going to blaze in anyway. I am then going to turn over to the right. The Lycan has the health in the clip, so I imagine he's going to quite quickly destroy that T-43. Yeah, 9 health I left that guy. Now, the reason why I was coming around here, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. That's actually, I'm not going to push... yeah, I am. I'm going to push up. Try and see if I can get some shots from up above. All in all, I don't want to push too far forward because it looks like our base is potentially under threat. And you see here, Cromwell, no problem going up this. It's not a particularly steep incline, but this tank just doesn't have the guts to its engine to really get itself moving when you start to get this sort of situation. Right, and I'm now glad I came this way because these are some really nice rear shots. Don't know if that Cromwell's being able to get shots in. Looks like he's taking a shot. He missed. Got the gun depression. Oh, got the kill. Fatherland's back there. Aim for that a little bit. I'm going to not sit up here. And they're both dead. So that means it's just the Fatherland and the artillery. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to keep going. I need to come across this bridge here because I need this tank really loses its mobility quick. It holds it quite well. You see I'm still doing 45. I'm going over a little bit of a rough area, still keeping up the speed. But you see there, I lost like 4 kilometers an hour just for hitting down a pole. Not the type from the country. That's a little bit more of a different thing. Also, I had no offence meant to them, but I don't think it would slow it down that much. Unfortunately, I'm sure some of them are hard as nails, but unfortunately, wood's harder still. Now, this guy can quite easily one-hit me. Ooh, that looked like a heat round. He didn't one-hit me, but I also now know he's on a reload. Right, now he's coming my way, and I don't have the pen to even attempt to get through the front of him, so I am going to be switching to my APCR. I do, just not consistently. Now, that looked like he just fired. Considering the way this guy played, I was quite surprised he came back this way. Now, I'm watching him on the third person, so I know his guns and his entire tank is pointing the other way. So I'm going to try and move in as close as possible. Now, as close as possible, but with something in the way. You see, I'm now going to go wide to try and avoid hitting his instant detection range, which I've managed to do. Going to bring me up now undetected. He swung his gun round. Stay on his side. I'm going to aim just under here for his ammo rack. Not hitting. There we go, and he's gone anyway. Probably didn't need to keep using that APCR. Would have switched out, but frankly, safer than sorry. He wasn't aiming at me, but someone else could have died if I hadn't taken that shot. So let's see what we got out of this. So 2,000 damage, which is not a bad game. Not great, not a bad game though. 20,000, 47,000, 26 without premium. That's profit. Finishing me second on the team. Now that's the point of I managed to keep this gun in the game. I managed to keep the gun firing at most times. You see a lot of the damage I did was to higher tier tanks. That guy shouldn't have rushed me, and I think he wasn't able to repair his ammo rack. Must have already taken some damage. T-43 again, tier 7, tier 8. So we go through tier 7, tier 6, tier 7, tier 7, tier 7, tier 8. So most of the damage I did was to higher tier tanks. Now, that just shows one of the things I love about this gun, and it tends to be it's a common theme with some of these British guns, is you really get this ability to do damage well above your tier. So, I think that's a good show of it, but let's see if we can do something better. Oh, and straight into steps, never mind, won't need to cut anything out here. Oh, maybe I will, because I'm holding back coughs, so sorry if I kind of occasionally have to go quiet for a second and you hear a noise. It's me trying to stop a cough. Anyway, Now steps. So there's a lot of different ways you can do steps, especially in this sort of a tank. Now I prefer going down that northeast side, but this tank, if no one else has gone that way, you shouldn't go that way. And the southwest side has a real number of good places nearer where the ground is raised, just to use that bit of gun depression and just poke and get your shot off, poke and get your shot off. And you saw me doing that a lot with a little bit where I was on the incline, firing at the IS. You saw I was just getting up just enough fire, pulling back. And you saw a couple of times I actually poked out and didn't fire, where I was just trying to poke out just enough so that I know I could align my next shot. Not for the actual shot itself, because, you know, trying to lure a shot from him at the same time, but it's more about trying to get the next shot. So I'm going to start off going this way. Let's see what happens with the team. The important thing is about where the team goes, although I'm aware this has not particularly been the best review, considering I've spoke about general tactics more than the actual tank in specific. But I think you get the idea, because this is, I would say, this is how you play this tank. This is how you make the most out of this tank. This tank's got some real nice features. I really do like that gun depression. The rate of fire is really good. I mean, I think the Alpha is about the same, if not higher, than the T-34 85's 85mm, because this is a British 17-pounder, which is what, like the 17-pounder is like a 76mm gun. So it's not bad. You see, I managed to spot that guy without him spotting me. I didn't look at the game, so it's a tier 6 game. Right, so this is a tier 6 game. And you might wonder what the difference is. Well, that means I am now definitively a frontline tank. Tier 7, yes, I can do the same. Tier 8, it's a bit more situational. Now, that's where I was poking last time, so I was detected while no one was looking at me, which means artillery was at some point looking here, and I can see that my team haven't pushed up much. Neither of their team, but, you know, that. Oh, BDR spotted. Let's see. Aim in, aim in, aim in, aim in. That was apparently fully aimed in. You'll see that's good aim here. There you go. Managed to get the shot off. See, I stopped for that little half a second. Right, I saw at least a couple shots come over. Oh, Panzer IV Hydro somewhere in the back. And that was a terrible shot. I should have manually aimed it. Oh, this has not been a good trade. This is not a good trade, so I need to start forcing this to be better trades. So I'm going to start making it so I'm going to back up, come forward, back up, turn, and then back up again. Well, that guy's pushing straight in on that medium. These guys behind me have been absolutely no help. So I'm going to have to really consider just falling back here. I want to try and hold this corner the best I can, but it's just... Oh, you see some nice APCR rounds brimming come from the back. Someone loading the skill rounds. They've realised they need a bit more help trying to play a tank on a video game. So let's see. So we'll see. We've got some top-notch players here. Top tier. What's we got? KV1 and OIXP. Now the OIXP, believe it or not, I actually don't blame anywhere near as much as the KV1. KV1's armor can easily tank at this sort of tier. Oh, he's got the dirt gun as well, which has even more fun. Now, that Cromwell has then headed over just as I pulled back. I'm gonna go back into a little bit of chai sniping here. Just sit at the back, see if I can pull off some shots as I sort of start a retreat. Oh, good job I came this way. I spotted the Rudy. Let's get myself behind a bush from him. Start pulling back just in case I am going to be spotted. I'm not spotted, so I'm going to keep firing. Which, as I say, is where this camo comes into play. Got a really nice camo on this tank. Now I don't have a shot from there, so I'm going to pull back. I'm going to position myself to be able to move away. Now I saw a tree fall over there, which suggests there's someone there. Didn't get spotted. Whoever it is has clearly moved further forward. Let's try there. Nope. Right. Let's move again. This guy's even more help because he's not even bothering to spot the corner. So let's see what we can make happen out of this. So that guy hasn't got the 88mm. The 88mm is a smooth bore with no muzzle brake. This is the sort of thing I was on about, where we move forward with sort of side shots. We can't get an angle really to penetrate this guy from here. Let's pull back, because it looks like the derp gun. Oh, you'll see someone took a blind shot at me there. Quite cheekily, I might try and use this guy as some form of cover. I no longer have a shot from here either. Now, so far this game is not looking good. Oh, this guy is tracked though. Let's see him on the track. Got spotted, so I'm going to move forward. Oh, and our genius friend is decided to sit nicely in the way. Now, I'm going to sit here and probably take at least a shot, but I got the kill. At which point I am now running away. Okay, not as quickly as I once thought. Now this is not a good position. This is really not a good position. Right, with that guy dead, I'm not going to shoot with that SU-100 because I need to move. The only chance we've got of winning, I'm going to have to use this guy as some form of glorified scout because he's not got any other use right now. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but right now he has no other use to the team. Now, I don't want to fight whoever's coming back the other way. I want to turn this into a 3v1. Okay, 3v2, because it's a 2v2 and that's a fair fight, and no one likes a fair fight, especially not in this game. So I'm spotted, tried to fire on the move, without aiming, didn't work. Let's try and aim in, nice hit. So he's still going to be on a reload, and a bounce, that's not good, right. So, I know there's people coming up behind me, and I know they're going to have shots on me, so I'm going to need to move up behind this rock, try and avoid their shots. Best I can. You can see someone's firing over from near the right. Our artillery's still sat out in the open. There's that BDR who's firing off shots. Let's try and see if I'm going to get a better angle on him. Now the SU-100 I can potentially make moves on, get around the side of, so he is not my... His gun is going to destroy me either way, but at this tier, almost anyone's gun is going to immediately destroy me. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to get another shot off, but it does mean he is now a one-hit kill for me. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a heavy round here, but I'm assuming our BDR must have killed him. Now this means that this guy is a one-hit kill for me, but we've still got a lot to deal with. We've still got the Nashorn who is platooned with someone. There's the issue with why I'm not firing until I'm fully aimed. Lower plate, didn't even get spotted because I used the bush. Lovely, jubbly. Now in comes the Rudy. The Rudy, oh, everyone's coming in now. Nashorn's more dangerous, so I'm going to try and finish him off. Ooh, moving forward, I actually reduced my gun depression there, which is poor play on my part. Let's see, can I get some shots in on the steward? No, as the Panzer IV Hydro has now just appeared. Oh. Let's finish off the Rudy. Rudy's gone. Artillery's firing at me. Can I get a pen on the BDR, should I say? Who's firing some nice APCR rounds? Can I get another shot on him? No, I cannot. Now, I've got the Nashorn coming in on me. Now, his gun depression is going to be a real problem for me here. But I get a shot into him as I'm going back. Can I get another one? Yes, I can. And I managed to move back just enough. If I can just get a shot off quick, there's a chance I can finish this guy without him getting a shot into me. I don't really have the gun depression for this push. Oh, and he just gets me. Just before I can pull back. He didn't have the big gun, which really kind of changed that fight. If he'd had the big gun, I actually probably stood more of a chance, although he may have just one hit me before I get that out of the shot. There you go, two games of different ways. One went a lot better than the other, both came out about the same sort of result. So that one was a bit more tight towards the end though, and I got a bit more damage in as well, which is quite nice. So I think this is a good sum up. So this is top tier, but with a bit of a naff team, and bottom tier with a much better team. So, well, as much as if I was firing APCR at the end, with that number of shots fired, maybe it ran out of AP. But that guy was probably their star player. Their artillery managed to pull a script 6, firing that many shots and didn't do a damn thing. Our M37 didn't do too much. Wow, 16 shots fired. Damn. Our HE friend did a lot better than I would have given him credit. Anyhow, let's see. So I should have probably aimed that shot on the Stuart, but I wanted to try and maintain whatever little health I had. The thing I would say actually probably lost us that game, because I could have pulled that back, but what lost us at the game is the poor trades I made with that 3002M, and it sort of makes, I can link that back into it being a review rather than just being tactics, and it's down to this doesn't have the armour for that. I mean, I was in a quite nice hold down position for some of those shots, and he still just went straight through my turret. But he has a nice 76mm gun on that tank, and it's not going to have any problems with this sort of a tank. Now, if nothing else, because I'm going to really need to cough soon, I desperately need a drink, I am going to have to start to end this video. But at 20 odd minutes, 20 something minutes in, that's probably about a good time to ending it anyway. So, do I rate this tank? Yes, I think it's a really good tank. Do I say you need this tank? No, you don't need any tank really. Is it a good collector's item? Definitely. I think this is going to be another one of their rare tanks. Comes with a permanent camo, which is a nice feature. It's not a must, but it's a nice thing to have. So, I'm not going to tell you to buy it. I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. I think this is probably a lot more positive than my review of the Rudy. Someone's description of it was kind of made me laugh a little bit about how I really didn't say very much about the tank, and how I was a bit I believe the term they used was ambivocal. Basically, I just didn't say anything either way. Yeah, it's good. No, it's a bit naff here, but oh, it's great there, and oh yeah. No, I think this tank is all around good. I think there is the only place you can fall down on this isn't in the armour, and for the amount of armour you'd really expect more mobility, but it's by no stretch the worst of any of the things. Like a lot of the best tanks I tend to find, you don't want the tank that's the best at something. T95, Tier 9, great armour, some of the best armour at that tier, but in my opinion, pretty crappy tank. Then you've got stuff like the Tortoise, oh, amazing DPM, great DPM, but again, I don't rate the tank. And the thing then you do find I tend to find is you get something like the Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger's got one of the second best alphas, including I'm counting the T30 and the T95 as one tank. So it's one of the second best alphas, one of the second best aim times, one of the second best rate of fires, one of the second best DPMs, one of the second best armors, one of the and you just get the second or third best for everything. And and I love that tank for that reason. Now I've not had many games. I go into the stats. Just prove my point here, show I'm not lying. There you go. 4 games. So 4 games and already up to 18% damage standing. Now this tank gets removed tomorrow, and quite frankly I just can't afford to buy this tank, so I'm putting money into a lot of different things at the moment, and World of Tanks just unfortunately really isn't one of them. But it's a nice tank. I think people will enjoy playing it, and that's where I'm going to leave that one. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the battlefield.